Speaking of relatable, Tom Brady. The draft is next Thursday, and I think this is fun. So we all know, we all acknowledge that drafting is an inexact science. There are times where I have said this is not going to work. Tim Tebow, first round. I said I don't care about the winning streak. This is a bad pick. Johnny Manziel, this is not good. I remember when Chip Kelly drafted Matt Barkley, the USC quarterback, and I said this is a terrible fit for his offense. This is and Chip Kelly, I like him. I'm like, this is an awful pick. I remember when the Cleveland Browns drafted Cody Kessler from USC, and I'm like, he doesn't have a strong enough arm and playing crappy weather. This is a terrible pick by Cleveland. Terrible. But by and large, I do believe that, it kind of depends on where you land. Most of the time, like Joe Burrow, I think he's a really good prospect. He's a good B-plus prospect to me, but I think Cincinnati's a hard place to win. It's a cheap owner. Division's great. Yeah, better ownerships, better coaches, better offensive lines, better. Everybody is way better than Cincinnati. They're better at everything than Cincinnati. Although I do think the coach potentially could be very good, but we don't know that yet. Is he going to be John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin? Or is he going to be just Doug Marrone? We don't know. We'll see. But here is Tom Brady's draft. He went in the 6th round. He had a 5th round grade from Mel Kiper. And I want you to read this. And I want you to remember this. The Big Ten, where Tom Brady played at Michigan, was a very well-respected league when he was drafted. In 2000, the year Tommy comes out, 7 Big Ten guys in the 1st round, 4 of the top 11, and the top 2 players in the draft. Now, 15 years later, the SEC has taken over, and the Big Ten has 3 guys, less than half in the 1st round. And that's with a much bigger conference. So he came from a very, very good Big Ten, which was either the first or the second best conference, and it was close to the SEC. Here's what Mel Kiper said about Brady. Smart, experienced, big game quarterback. High grades in efficiency. Cut his interceptions in half. Doesn't show nervous feet. Nice job working through progressions. Accurate. Very catchable ball. At the pro level, lacks mobility. Could surface as a problem. Very good in big games. Very good against Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Ohio State, Alabama. He's 34 of 46 for 4 touchdowns. That's a good quarterback. And I'm asking you today, in the Big Ten today, which is not as esteemed as it was then, in an NFL today which values athletic ability for a quarterback, if I said there's this quarterback at Michigan who's great in big games, 6'4.5", accurate, catchable, cut his touchdowns in half, good feet, works through his progressions, not great mobility, would he drop to the 5th round or 6th round? I don't think he would. I just think he's a whiff. And I think the NFL mostly whiffed on Russell Wilson. That if you'd done your homework, and I'm not a scout, you'd look at Russell Wilson and thought, he's great everywhere. He was great in NC State, he's great in Wisconsin. Sometimes it's a whiff. I think people overlook Russell Wilson because he was short. If Russell Wilson's 6'3", he's maybe the first pick in the draft. His stats are incredible. At conservative Wisconsin, he had like 33 touchdowns. Here's what scouts said about Brady, and this is why, Joy, I think he dropped. They didn't like his body. They didn't look at his production, his intelligence, his efficiency. They just stared at the body. Here's one guy, Ron Hughes, Detroit Lions, late Ron Hughes. Interesting. He looks like one of those poles you hang your coats on. He's got big knobs on his shoulders. He's a very good deep passer, highly competitive, can't run a lick. But he can step out of the way. That's, okay. Next guy says, he had a great bowl game. I think he's very common, said a Midwest scout. He's bony. He's very thin. Good Lord, you can see his ribs on his build. His arm's okay. Here's another NFC scout. I don't like him. Smart kid, that's it. But people could not get past he was skinny. Little bit of a late bloomer. He was thin. He was drafted by Major League Baseball. Smart, tall, productive, efficient, getting better, beat out Drew Henson at Michigan, who was a top baseball prospect, a better athlete than Tom. And the Big Ten was a more esteemed conference. But sometimes you got to look to the other end of the telescope, and people got caught up on Russell Wilson's height, and they just couldn't get past it. And they got caught on Tom Brady's body. And you remember he just didn't have much of a chest, and he was kind of bony, and it really is amazing that even Tom came out, if he came out today as unathletic as he is, from a less esteemed Big Ten conference. I mean, he's just tall, skinny, bony guy. There's no way he's going to the 6th round. A guy that's playing at Michigan on TV 9 times, very good in all the big games, throws a great ball, accurate. You think he drops to the 6th round? I just think Tom's a whiff. I don't think it's anything more than that. A guy from Hofstra got drafted ahead of him in the 3rd round. Didn't play a snap in the NFL, I don't think.